Hi, we're Doug and Mary, and we've been exploring the northwestern part of the continent in our Toyota Sienna that we've converted into a camper. Since this marks about the halfway point of our trip, we should fill everyone in on what's going on.
We aren't new to van life. We had a 1986 Toyota van for 30 years, but for this trip we wanted something more reliable, safer, better gas mileage, and with a bit more luxury. We looked at everything. Some were too old, some too big, some too expensive, some too hard to find parts or get insurance, or just attracted too much attention. We settled on a used 2013 Toyota Sienna, and we spent the next year converting it into a camper and testing it out. There's more to see in some of our previous videos, so check them out if you're interested. Feel free to ask questions in the comments, or if you want another video on something more specific of our build. And a couple of things about us. We like to travel the back roads, we like microbreweries, and we like cool bridges.
Last time we crossed the north end of the western provinces and took a slight detour down to North Dakota to visit family. Now we're headed back up to pick up our adventure through Canada. The Red River Valley straddles the border between North Dakota and Minnesota. It is the lake bottom of the former huge glacial Lake Agassiz and is primarily farm country. It is very flat prairie. There are tiny farm towns every 15 or 20 miles, and they all consist of a grain elevator, a couple churches, a bar, a post office, and a few houses. They are generally friendly, and they all look amazingly alike, and are all immaculately clean and tidy.
Every now and then there's a larger town like Crookston, which has some agricultural industry, a branch of the University of Minnesota with a historic downtown section. As we headed farther north, it gradually started getting more forested. Many of the rivers in this area look like root beer due to the tannins from decaying leaves and bark, but they're considered pretty healthy.
This is just east of Baudette, Minnesota. And on the other side of that river is Canada.
International Falls has the reputation for often being the coldest spot in the lower 48.
Hi,
Hello.
it's $7.
You take credit cards?
$7 to go across this bridge. Isn't even a long bridge. And look at that thing up there.
This looks like part of it is part of the sawmill operation is in Canada and part of it is in the U.S. Part of it's been deconstructed.
Yeah, look at this up here.
Yeah.
It's the end of what? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 pipes?
Okay, nice. So made a camper.
Converted, I guess.
And where do you live?
Sealy Lake, Montana.
And what is the purpose for your trip today?
We're going to see places we've never seen before. Hopefully as far as Prince Edward Island.
Prince Edward Island.
We've been all the way to Alaska and we've been all the way to the Arctic.
Okay.
Now we got to do the other end.
Okay. Then all right.
Yep. We don't have to be back until November.
Oh. And you have enough fund to cover all the expense?
Yep.
Yeah. Prince Edward Island, they have beautiful camping spots. More expensive than normally, but top notch.
All right.
Do you have any food with you?
Yes, we have a lot of dried food, granola, stuff
Poultry product, chicken, eggs?
No.
We're vegetarian.
Prevent a lot of problems. There we go. Hey, enjoy your trip.
Thank you.
Bye.
The Noden Causeway is a series of island-hopping bridges east of Fort Frances spanning Rainy Lake. It was completed on June 28, 1965, with the 3.5-mile-long span marking the completion of Ontario's Highway 11, now part of the Trans-Canada Highway.
Silver Falls Road. Signs for Silver Falls Road.
We nearly got stuck in soft sand at this beach campsite on Hawk Island. But with some patience, we managed to find a piece of firm ground for the night. Thanks to iOverlander again for a beautiful free camp spot.
The abandoned grain elevator terminal. We're at Thunder Bay, looking into Lake Superior, and the port here, right next to the ports and the piers. And the riverfront drive. On a rainy Friday morning, Labor Day weekend.
We thought that Labor Day weekend would be pretty crazy on the highways, and during this stretch, we didn't have much choice other than to take the busy Trans-Canada Highway. So we read about a free camping area at the Nipigon Marina.
We were greeted with a warm welcome as soon as we pulled in. Locals Jimmy and Howie told us about the history of the town and the area, invited us to watch the parade, the classic car show, the ball game, and other events that the town was proudly hosting. Nipigon, Ontario.
Yes, just a tiny bit north of Lake Superior.
About 100 miles east of Thunder Bay.
This is a cool river. It's such a friendly town. You can't go 20 paces without somebody stopping and talking to you for half an hour. So.
Yeah. Oh, look at him.
The fog is just lifting off the lake. Boy, it was thick all morning.
We watched the parade, then as it turned the corner, we crossed the tracks and watched it again from the other side.
Another fire truck.
There you go, Jeffy.
We hiked the local trails, toured the museum, the historic walking tour, and met more and more locals that have great pride in their little town.
The seagull too. Well, that's my bird friend. Long John.
We're glad that we took a few days to stop and explore Nipigon and meet some of the most friendly people we've seen on our adventure. As we rolled out of town, we crossed what some call the dividing line into eastern Canada.
This is Eastern Canada, and this is Western Canada. All road traffic between Eastern Canada and Western Canada crosses this point at the Nipigon River Bridge. There are no other bridges or roads besides the adjacent railroad. The bridge was completed in 2018 at the cost of over $100 million and is an amazing work of engineering. We just had to explore it, and it's cool to drive over.
Somebody lost their whole load of 2x6s.
Oh my god.
Came up around that corner too
Kinda
fast, didn't he?
Yeah. Now how's that guy gonna load them?
Just waiting for a whole bunch of help.
I hope so.
Oh.
We just couldn't resist a chance to put our feet in the cool waters of Lake Superior and enjoy a nice lunch spot.
These are your three favorite walks? All of Lake Superior?
The short hike to Aguasaban Falls was highly rewarded with a spectacular view. We usually try to stop at the scenic pull-offs and see some amazing views. Here we also saw some train spotters waiting for the right moment.
This spot on Dunk Lake made a great place to stop for the night.
This is our view this morning. Perfectly still, just like glass. And yes, we're only a few dozen yards off the Trans-Canada Highway, but we're pretty well shielded from view. And somebody else pulled in one other spot here, kind of opposite from us. Somebody else pulled in around 10:30 or 11 last night. And look what they left. Yeah, they just gotta leave their toilet paper because it's too gross to take with them, huh? Clean the place up and make it a little bit better than when they left. Gloria's Motel. One of the finest establishments in all of northern Ontario. And look, there's vacancy.
White River is the home of the real Winnie the Pooh. The bear had been trapped and brought to England by a veterinarian soldier during World War I. Later he donated the bear to the London Zoo, and the bear was so popular that stuffed animal toys were made with his name. The town also has a nice visitor center and museum.
Catherine Cove was a beautiful, calm, warm bay with a sandy beach and made for a perfect lunch spot.
This is Lake Superior again, and this is our camp spot for tonight. A few other people here. Highway's only a few hundred yards away, but it should be fairly quiet tonight. Boy, what a view.
That's where we'll leave you for today. Join us next time when we explore Quebec's hidden gem, the Pontiac.
The Pontiac.
An area with history, culture, nature, music, and good food and drink.